Good morning, YouTube. It's Kiona. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am going to be speaking on, I don't want to say kingdom marriages because that's just a trend that's going on. Your God-ordained spouse. That's what it is. What you should be looking for in your God-ordained spouse and what you should be presenting as a God-ordained spouse, right? Because, oops, sorry, I was moving my glasses. Because a lot of us don't exactly know what to look for in a spouse. I, for one hand, I'm single and waiting on my spouse, so therefore, obviously, I wasn't looking for the right things. But now that my relationship, first off, because you gotta have a relationship with the Lord. If you're strong within the Lord, He'll show you who your spouse is, and He'll work on you and them in order to bring you together. But what you should be looking for in your spouse is, for one, just like I said, do they have a relationship with the Lord? Is there what do you call that? Like a connection, an open line. That's what I'm looking for. An open line between them and the Holy Spirit, because if they're not with the Holy Spirit and walking and serving, and you're not, there's no way there's going to be a God-ordained relationship. I'm sorry. It's just fact. It doesn't work that way. Second, does your spouse, because I'm speaking from a woman's standpoint, does your spouse know their purpose? Are they operating in their purpose? Are they moving towards their purpose? For one, they're not going to know their purpose unless that first thing, the valve is open, that open line of communication for them to be able to move towards their purpose and whatever it is that God is calling them to do, right? Obviously, they're going to seek you after they enter into their purpose, because your purpose is to be a helpmate to their purpose. Because God, when He brings two people together, He has that 3-strand cord, which is the Holy Spirit, your spouse, and you. So therefore, you are going to be tied together in heaven and on earth to live out this purpose. So therefore, you need to know if they are walking or headed towards their purpose, because then you'll have purpose. Next, can he lead? He won't be able to lead if he's not able to walk towards his purpose. So therefore, you need him to be able to function in his purpose first in order for him to be able to be a leader to you. And that is what you're looking for. Most of us women have done it on our own for many, many years and weren't looking for a man to lead. I'm guilty. Trust me, I know firsthand. I've always done it on my own since I was a teenager. I didn't have parents to do it for me. So I'm like, I'll get my money myself. I'll do what I gotta do myself. I go on my trips and I pay for myself. Like, that's just been my thing. But because I'm in this process and I'm learning, the Lord is teaching me how I should be led. So therefore, does He lead that? And does He know where He's going? Right. Because a lot of men can lead you, but are they leading you in the right direction? Are they leading you towards God's purpose? Because men can lead, but they'll lead you right down to nothing. I know. Is he respectful? Is he respectful of himself? How is he treating his self? It speaks highly of a person on how they treat themselves, because you have a lot of men out here that won't do nothing for themselves at all. If he's respectful of himself and takes care of himself and thinks highly of himself, he more than likely is going to think highly and respectful of you. Is he a family-oriented man? How are you going to have a God-ordained spouse and expect to build a family with someone who can't maintain with their own family, right? So you're looking for someone who is a family-oriented man, because obviously you're going to be fruitful and multiply. So if you're planning on having kids one day, you're going to want your man to be a family-oriented man. Right. Now, if you notice, I didn't say anything about what he does, what he's going to do, and what he can bring to the table for you. That is not how this works. So, if you're in that mindset, then you're way off anyways. You're not going to be anywhere near ready for a God-ordained spouse. Those are the attributes that you need to be paying attention to in order to see that he's just about ready for you to enter his life. Now, for yourself, because we are the bone of his flesh. Like I said from the beginning, do you have an open valve to the Holy Spirit? Because you're going to need to be able to communicate. Believe it or not, whatever you think of and speak of with the Holy Spirit, if your husband or spouse is connected to it, he's going to be functioning enough to know what it is that you need. Yes, that comes with the territory. Next. How is your person? Are you able to be led by someone? Or are you still stuck in your own way of thinking and doing and being? Because when you get married, you leave in your family to go become one with this other person, which God already picked and ordained to become one with you. So therefore, he is the lead. He knows the purpose for the both of y'all. You may not even know your purpose. You may have a hint, a clue, but God's going to speak to him more than he's going to speak to you on it, because he is the leader. So therefore, you need to be able to submit to your husband. You need to be able to be at that function of, okay, this is what God told you. But at the same time, you are his helper, which leads me into the next one for a woman. You are his helper. So therefore, there's going to be some things that he's focused and he's the leader. So he knows the picture of where you guys are headed. But like I've said before, the wife is the neck. You're going to be a direction and a guidance. So therefore, some of us who are gifted in other ways can discern when something's not right. We'll feel it and know, or the Lord will speak to you and let you know that just y'all shouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't take that deal. I wouldn't go in that direction. I don't think, this is what's going to happen. He can do it, dreams, visions. He can speak to you, and he can also give you that feeling, because I'm one of those people. I've always had that discernment for years. I've kept my friends out of a nightclub from getting shot up just minutes before it happened, because discernment of what I felt in the air. So, so that would be you who's supposed to be the giver. It's not what you bring to the table, it's how you'll be able to help along with his purpose and make sure that you guys aren't going to get messed up during that process. And then also, it would be for you. Are you respectful Are you respectful of yourself? How do you treat yourself? Do you love yourself? It's the same thing for a man. When I say respect, it's the same thing. If they're not respectful of their person, how can they respect the next person? How can you honor, if you don't honor yourself, that's the one. Thank you, Holy Spirit. If you do not honor yourself as a person, how are you going to honor your mate? Because that's the point. You're supposed to honor one another. You're supposed to love each other as God loved the church. So if you're not honoring yourself, how are you going to honor them? Right? Right. And last but not least, are you family oriented? Do you love your family? Do you have a good connection with your people? Because it all starts in the household, in your family first, because that's where you come from. Then you have your outsider, your friends. But I'm not saying I have a thing about that. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody needs to be your friend. But you do know how to be respectful of people and associates and whatever label they need. Because I'm not saying be mean, because you never know who you're entertaining and what that person could be bringing towards you. So I'm not saying you cut everybody off and just be a block to everybody. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't let certain people too close to you, because not everybody's sent from the right place. Need discernment for that. But yes, this was my message for today. What you should be looking for in your God-ordained spouse, and what you should be presenting as a God-ordained spouse. Are you in these categories? If you are looking for that kingdom marriage that everyone is talking about, check the qualities of the person that you're trying to be with. And first off, ladies, you shouldn't be seeking him in the first place. God-ordained spouses come to you. That's how it works. If you function and you both got open lines, he should know exactly who you are, where you are, and how to get to you. Just saying. So, with that being said, check yourself. Self-evaluation. Do you qualify? Do you live up to the standards? It's not about what either one brings to the table. It's not about the material things. It's about spiritual things. It's about you as a person, as a whole, because you make two holes into one big hole. So, I hope that helps. Have a blessed day, y'all.